I got two hands, I got my mouth, I know how to earn money.
She absolutely does. She doesn't miss a trick. Well, a lot of interesting stuff going on here when I think about it. The one thing about the copycat channel is that whoever's behind it does not live in the Philippines. Unless they get up that early in the morning. I get up early, but not that early. Because when I get up on an average of about 5 in the morning, you'll see a copycat channel posting that says 30 minutes ago. So whoever's behind this is, well, they're not in this country. So there's been a lot of speculation about who is behind the copycat channel. Well, I suppose if you could do research on the IRL, I guess you could find out who it is. I don't know, maybe we'll go down to that, because out of just pure curiosity. Now, I've always had a suspicion that, well, I've had various ones, but I've been coming to more of a thought that maybe Mr. Dave Phelps has been behind this the whole time. Now, Dave Phelps, of course, who moved to Texas, who fled basically to Texas for various reasons. He didn't stop YouTube. He never did. He was too involved in YouTube, and I don't think he ever really left YouTube. And I think Mr. Phelps is behind a lot of sock accounts. And although it may seem that I have a good numerous amount of people who seem to be a little adverse to me, and there may not be as many as you think out there, because I think him and a couple of other characters are major in actually creating numerous sock accounts that basically are geared toward, I don't know, talking about me or doing all kinds of cool shit, you know what I mean? Yeah. So, will we ever know who really is behind the copycat channel? I think it's a matter of time here. A little bit of deduction helps. Doesn't hurt. But it kind of brings to my attention that it actually always did. I've always suspected one of my biggest nemesis, Mr. Dave Phelps, that he's never left YouTube. In fact, he's been to the Philippines many times. If he hasn't moved back, I don't think he did, but his wife has relatives here. And as such, he's been back in the Philippines many times. With that in mind, kind of strange that I'm doing a live stream. Still going to continue to have my morning tea. That does not change. I've noticed my subscribership has gone up. I don't mean in great numbers, as if somebody's actually buying them. I've noticed that they've been going up. I'm getting new subscribers all the time. Imagine that. All the time. Well, we're going to have some lovely guests here today. The lovely Nina will be here today, spending a few days with a couple of her colleagues, a married couple, who will grace our humble abode and spent a few days here. So we're all geared up for that. And she too will be bringing me something from the Philippines to bring back in regards to my acknowledgement of my birthday. Okay, going down more news. Let's see. Barry has, of course, been making use of his phone and has yet done another post. And he was doing a countdown or something. I don't know, something about 2 years and 1 month. I'm in this place, something like that. And a birthday. I guess his birthday is in June or July. I forgot which. So he's counting down his own time. But he seems to believe that he will be deported. As such, in saying that, is it a juvenile, a low security, juvenile rehabilitation, some kind of a facility, that him and 319 pogos and other detainees, immigration detainees, have been transferred, which is still in Bilibid. There seems to be a facility there that is lower security for these detainees. Now, he's not being very specific at all, actually, but he seems to think that he's going to be deported anytime soon. But there was kind of a mixed message on his posting on his community page. You have to read it. The fact is, Mr. Jordan has a court order to pay restitution to the court, to pay restitution to me, etc., etc., immigration fees, all this other shit, potential balance owed to his lawyer. And I don't know of any, there was something I read as far as, I don't know, supposedly how long they could detain you. But a court order is a court order. And I don't really have any valid facts to support his theory about, well, it's not his theory. It's something I actually read, but there's not a lot of validity to it. If you have a court order to pay the court and any damages to the plaintiff, then they cannot be released until. So what does somebody do, or what would they do if he cannot pay these court-ordered expenses? Do they just allow him to go home, be deported, and not pay these fees? I can't see that happening. I don't know of any definite written laws in the Philippines that says that, well, if you can't pay, that's okay, we forgive you. And since you have a summary deportation for this, well, from a couple of years back, that, well, it's okay. You don't have to pay that. We'll just deport your ass. I don't think that's the case. Now, I don't know, I've heard some things about limitations, 6 months, that maybe or maybe not, they can't hold you beyond that, but a court order is a court order. And I can't see how they could circumvent something of that nature. Unless there's something I'm not aware of, or my attorney's not aware of. It's a wait-see situation is what it is. But I just can't see how you could circumvent that situation. Other news, they're talking about Vitaly wants to plead insanity. Well, I don't know. Could Barry could have gone a different direction and pleaded insanity? Well, we always thought he was insane, but he was never able to use that as a ticket out of his own paradise there. That, I think, would never happen. So, in consideration of such, I think I have to do a little bit more research on this matter. Moving down the line. Today is the 1st of June. Welcome, June. Welcome, June. It is officially my birthday. Now, it was kind of amazing why I've talked about this birthday thing, because having celebrated a double birthday, well, because my girlfriend's son had a birthday on the 28th, I figured, well, let's just do it together. And a lot of times Filipino families will do that too. We did celebrate. But then, yesterday, which was May 31st, the official date of my birthday, we still celebrate. Cake and all. It actually turned out to be a pretty good spread. I'm getting my dose of sugar, which I kind of regret, but I'll get over it. But today, actually the 1st of June, Philippines time, and it would be USA time, would actually be the 31st. Unless I'm doing my math wrong. Anybody, yeah, that's what it would be. So again, today would be my official, it'll be my official birthday. Now I could say for real, I survived till my newest birthday. It's official. Whether I drop dead in 5 minutes or whatever, it's official. All right, we're over the birthday thing. Turned out to be a pretty good birthday, after all. Birthdays, plural. And yes, I have been recognized by many for my birthday. Actually, people have been pretty kind and generous, and the acknowledgement from some of the family members was very nice and very appreciated. Hey, after all, that's what family does, right? Right, family. Okay, what else is there to rap about this morning? Let's see. Okay, we covered the Barry situation. A very interesting situation it actually is. You know, again, circumventing the law. I'm not sure how you can do that. Is it possible? Well, anything is possible. There are many out there that feel that he has served enough time for his crimes. And there's many out there that says, no, let him rot in fucking jail. So we got people on both sides of the fence on this one. Brings us back to the question, did he really deserve to spend any time in jail? Again, the finger pointing, who did it? Did Frank do it? Did he do it to himself? And his arguments on both sides of the fence on that. When it really comes down to one thing is he pretty much did it to himself, which we have discussed many times before, and that's the reality of Mr. Barry Lee Jordan's situation. what the Department of Immigration or Department of Corrections, whatever, do with him, why he's in Billy Bid. The transfer from Mandawi, of course, was the supposed renovation when they actually should be knocking that structure down. But renovation of that structure moved over to many people's surprises, including mine, to Bikitan, the famous Bikitan, or Bikotan, however you want to pronounce that. Where he had spent a whole month or more. Then, to people's surprise, transferred to Billy Bid. And supposedly in a juvenile kind of a, I don't know, training center. Well, he's not a juvenile. But I guess for space sakes, they do kind of play musical chairs with detainees from one prison to another to accommodate for maybe the overcrowding of one particular jail, prison, detention center, whatever you want to call it. Kind of a musical chair game where you wind up, who knows, but you gotta be there on time. The length of stay is the question. More news on that will come up soon, I'm sure. Why all the juggling around? It'd be interesting to really find out. And, of course, how long they can legally keep him in a, well, this is a prison. Let's make no bones about it. It's a prison. It's a penitentiary. There's no doubt about that. That don't look good on your record, I'll tell you that much. If you cared about your own record, and I don't think he does. But he will care if he thinks he's ever going to get back to the Philippines again once they actually do deport him. The question is, can they just deport him and say, fuck it, what he owes to court, what he owes me, what he owes anyone? Can they really do that? That'll be the $60,000 question. Not 100, not 1,000,000, but the $60,000 question. I guess it's a wait and see game on that one. Well, it seems that I seem to be getting a lot more support, noticeably, judging by comments I see here and there on other people's shows. Discord has been sort of kind of leaning in my direction on all issues. Quite a wind of change going down. The secret society of Discord. The ruling people on Discord. The ground zero of all the decision making going on YouTube among a very elite group of people who share their ideas and opinions and even forge directions in matters in some ways. Very special group of people. But what it comes down to is the scale seems to be weighing out for yours truly. Quite a turnaround, actually. I'm even getting more subs. Not asking for any. Not doing anything different. And I don't think anybody's buying them because, they usually buy them in lots of like 500 or something. So I don't think anybody's buying my subs from me. And if they are, I'm not sure why. Maybe they just don't want to see me go. But the new format here, it's so much more controllable. It still allows people to make comments. If I leave the video up, of course. And we're going to be doing that So it still works out pretty well. I'm not going to get a whole shitload of comments from people like whatever I'll do on a live show, and I don't even get a whole shitload on there on a live stream, but the numbers will be a lot lower once I'm doing uploads. But it's something I should have stayed to for a long time, stayed on the upload version. Look at Amazing Philippines, and I could name, gosh, dozens and dozens of channels that really don't do any live streams. Oh yeah, they might be losing out on super chat and stuff like that, but they make up for it in other ways. So, see how this turns out. I think it's less stressful for me to do uploads like this. And let's see what's new on the scene here. Monsoon season, I guess we are going to be having a wet season. Or maybe slightly earlier, a wet, rainy season. And I've actually witnessed this compared to last year. When I look out at the fields across the street, across the road, and it's green. It's green. But at the same time last year, it was dry as a bone, and even a cow died. That's saying something right there. Apparently, there is some climate change going on. Maybe this is just an oddball season where we're going to be getting our rains a little bit earlier. Amazingly, though, there has been no typhoon activity throughout the Philippines that I'm aware of. Pagasa weather. I have not seen any indication that there's any typhoons coming anytime soon. But then again, this is the Philippines, and anything could happen. And a lot of these things have to do with the temperature of the ocean water, which can create storms. Or contribute, certainly. On other things, folks, I still got the green tea going here. Still got it going. Started a project that I don't want or can't finish on my own. Well, started chipping off paint off my gate and railing on here. And I'm sorry I ever actually started it, because now it's going to rust even more once I scraped off the peeling paint on this sucker. And we'll take you out here. We're going to probably show you this. So I'll put a pair of slippers on. Good morning, good morning. Where's my slippers? No. Okay, girls, you can go in here. Feelings, nothing more than feelings. Trying to forget. Let's get find my slippers. Morning. Good morning, dear. Are you playing your games again on that thing? You win anything last night?
I just cannot win something.
You what?
No.
All right, don't lose anything. Yeah, she's gotten back to playing around with these games, online gambling stuff. Her friend was over last night. She was screaming through the roof because she made a little something, 1,500 pesos. I mean, it was the kind of scream that would knock you off your chair. That kind of scream. I'm thinking, what the fuck? Did you win something or something? Yeah, she did. But so did Gilda. Past several days, about 3,000 pesos. Okay, so let me kind of show you what's going down over here. Okay, the white on here is because I put this rust inhibitor on here, and that's the white. I did a hell of a lot of, now if you, this is to the point, it's no scraping this shit off. You know, with the bottom is actually rotting all the way through. It's really rusted out. There's no saving of that. Of course, all the water settles to the bottom. You can see what a bad shape that's in. Again, the white is kind of a rust inhibitor that I threw on here in the meantime, because this gate is definitely going to fall apart. So when you're living out here in a tropical climate and the weather is definitely going to play havoc, and you have to find another solution to the rust that forms out here. And this is all over my railing. Let's see, where I was just doing some scraping here. Let's see, get down over here. Excuse me. Yeah, I didn't do a lot of scraping, just a little on the, but you can see this is pretty bad shit. And it's just making it worse by peeling it off, because then it's going to really expose the metal. So basically, I think there's a brush I can get for my electric drill. You could put on there and you could actually grind all that shit off. But that's not a job that I want to do. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of scraping. I'm going to concentrate on the gates before I do anything. This one here, the main entry gate, the same thing. Same thing going on here. Same thing. So yeah, and you can see on here, I've scraped a lot of that paint off here. Pretty bad. Pretty bad. Ay. That's what you call opening up a can of worms. That, I'm kind of sorry I started it, to be honest with you. Oops, got a white out here. Okay. Yeah, this is not good. But of course, we can't forget talking about the ants. The ants. They were making my lights flicker on the outside last night. The light switches. You got ants that come out of there. And these destructive little bastards. Seriously. They can nest. It's a whole pathway, a highway, when you have concrete block as a majority of the structure of the house. It creates a pathway. And you'll find them coming out through light switches and things like that. That's a very common occurrence, actually. And as such, we see that a lot. And they're destructive little bastards. You'll find sand in there, having to do, I guess, with the nesting and stuff. And it really does play havoc on your electric systems. Boy, this bike of theirs is rusting up here. Speaking of rust, guess we'll have to treat this thing too. Oh, there's always something to keep you busy out here if you really put your mind into it. There's no lack of maintenance when you have a house out here. No question about it. All right, that's all we have to say this morning. Some unanswered questions, some thoughts to share. Watch, I bet a cat runs out of here. I gotta move the stuff out of these bags. This is where I have my pump, and it's just covered here. Yeah. A little bit of tips for you people that like to travel quite a bit. And you're always getting overcharged for your baggage every single time. Even if it's an ounce over the weight. Now, these agents at the desk are trained to take notice of passengers that are sitting around. They look like they got some overfilled baggage. A bell goes off in their heads because, see, they get $10 to $20, an average of 10, for every passenger that they could charge as much as like $100 worth of overweight charges. The agent actually makes money on that. It's encouraged by the airlines, and there are solutions to this. Okay, there are solutions. Look, take care of your business. Go to the bathroom, whatever you have to do. Go eat something before you want to check in your baggage. In fact, sit on the adjacent terminal next to yours, actually, and stay there, because they're not looking out for you there. Maybe that terminal agent is, but, they're not going to get you there. So what you do is you stay as late as you can to the time they're actually going to be boarding. And then you check in your baggage, because there's too much going on. They're distracted. They're going to have time. They want to delay the flight. They're not going to probably question if your baggage is even an ounce over. And that's your best way of dealing with that. You can fool them, but they have a strong regiment, actually. I mean, the airlines make tons of money on charging for overweight luggage and so forth. It's what they do, and they make millions from that. And most travelers don't even know that. So, to sum it up, you basically just show up and check in your baggage at the last minute, because they're not going to go through all that shit to, your baggage is a little bit overweight. We're going to have to charge you for this. Now, they got to get the plane going. You got to get the people on there. And they're not going to wait till the last minute to actually charge you. So anyway, some information for my viewers that maybe you didn't know about. Remember, it all comes out in the wash. Yes, even the airline agencies and the airlines themselves are taking advantage of you, and you never even knew it. You can get away with that. I personally have had that happen to me in Manila, especially in Manila. They charged me. I was coming back to live in the Philippines, and what happened was, can we weigh your baggage, sir? And, there was a lot of time before the flight was taken off, and she was just put on at the desk at that time. Because, if there's a long time before that plane's going to take off, you're not even going to see an agent there at the desk. It's especially in Manila, you hear the crickets. She ain't going to show up until a certain time before the flight is going to leave. So, like I said, wait as long as you can. Wait as long as you can, as close to the departure of the flight, last 10, 15 minutes, whatever. Then you check in your baggage. She's not going to want to waste the time, or he, to waste the time to, really check on the weight of your baggage. She's going to probably just let it go and put it on. You don't want to delay the flight. But yes, on any other situation, they make it a point to charge you, and these fees could be excessive, sometimes exceeding $100, according to how much you've loaded in there. And nobody wants to pay those extra fees. So keeping that in mind, that's simply what you do. Show up as late as possible, or just sit in the next terminal. Sit in the next terminal. So they're not noticing you at your terminal. But a little bit of time before they're going to be boarding, just show up there with your baggage. Almost a guarantee you're going to get it through without getting these charges. Remember, it all comes out in the wash.
Let them talk. Let them judge. Let them spin stories about you that you've never even heard. Let them count you out and miss the point of your journey. Because real success, it comes with the courage to rise above the negativity that follows.
Howdy, folks. I want to give thanks to the Big Ego with his perfectly disingenuine birthday wishes to me. But you got it wrong. Get it right on the age. Why not just say I'll be 94, not 84? But to correct you, I just turned 71. But I think you already knew that. And thank you, Honeyco, for your best wishes. As disingenuine as that is, too. But yes, I did have a good birthday. Birthdays, plural, actually. Thank you very much. Once a wisecracker, always a wisecracker. Yeah. You can make me older than I am, but keep in mind, Big Ego, you're not that much younger than me. I just want you to keep that in mind. And I'll probably give a guarantee I'll live longer than you will for many special reasons. So keep that in mind. Enjoy your harem. Don't worry about my birthday. Worry about yourself, your extraordinary weight, your diet. And don't forget to get those 20,000 steps in. But don't forget to eat that extra food you normally do. I don't know. It just counteracts everything you do, sir. But hey, in your mind, I guess you think it's helping. But your lovely, disingenuous birthday, we'll take it to heart. It's your way of saying, Frank, I like you, but I wish you dropped fucking dead. I'd rather you just come out and say that. It kind of lays on me with a little bit more honesty. I don't wish you dead, Biggie. I don't wish you dead. I wish you well. And I hope that you get to live to be my age. What did you say it was? 84? Wow, I jumped up quite a few years for my birthday. Seems like I was only 70 years old yesterday, and I'm 71 today. I guess you're just not very good with math. But I'll take that acknowledgement of my birthday as a, well, good faith effort in admitting that you actually give a fuck. Not, but thank you anyway. This one's for you, Kevin. Now the end is near, and so you face the final curtain. My friend, I'll say it clear, I'll state my case, of which I'm certain. How you lived a peculiar life that's not full, and you haven't traveled far, or every highway, but more, much more than this. You didn't do it the right way. Regrets of what you had a few, but then again, far too much to mention. You did what you had to do and saw it through without a lot of exemption. You didn't plan your charted course. Each uncareful step along the byway, and more, much more than this, you did it the wrong way. Yes, there were times I'm sure you knew when you bit off more than you could chew. But through it all, when there was doubt, you ate it up and never spit it out. You faced it all, and you didn't stand very tall. You did it the wrong way. You never loved. You never laughed. You didn't have your fill or share of winning. And now, as your tears subside, you find it all so unexciting to think you did all that. And may I say, not in a good way. Oh no, not you. You had to do it your way.
For what is a man, and what has he got? If not himself, then he has nothing. When he says a thing he truly feels, and not the words of one who kneels. The record shows he took the blows, and he's doing it every day. That's for you, Kev. All for you. Thank you, folks. Thank you very, very much.
抜かせじじい。泥棒は夜に来るもんだよ。俺たちが毎晩巡回してっから、王城の平和が守られてんだよ。だから食うもんね。